Next up, if
Woman has saved the day. Thank
we
you.
were standing around the LGBTQ plus water cooler, this is what we may all be talking about. It's sponsored by Hot Topic. Hot Topic is an American retail chain with nearly 700 locations, specializing in counterculture-related clothing and accessories, as well as licensed music. Hot Topic represents many varied interests of the LGBTQ plus community, including music, movies, graphic artists, gaming, and more. Hot Topics features one of the largest collections of Pride merchandise that celebrates all aspects of the LGBTQ plus community, and Hot Topic is a major supporter of the diversity of our community and supports many events, festivals, and nonprofit LGBTQ plus organizations. Very notable is their support of the Trevor Project, the LGBTQ plus community's most important voice for LGBTQ plus young people. And that's why they are the sponsor of It's Happening Out's Hot Topic. All right, Reddit's AskGayMen subreddit community was recently talking about something that matters to every LGBTQ plus person who is dating or looking for someone special. One Reddit user popped a question asking, quote, I am in my 30s coming to the realization I am a neurodivergent and I am at peace with the possibility of not finding the one, but I will not stop my search, end quote. To which one user replied saying, there are a lot of neurodivergent gays and it's not difficult to find someone who is also neurodivergent, and even easier to find people who are accepting and accommodating of neurodivergence. Do you agree? If yes, what would you recommend to that reader? A bar, club, or online dating app? Which would your recommendation be? Our hot topic of the week are gay bars where we still meet our lovers, partners, and marriage. What do you think? Where do we meet for relationship?
D, all of the above. As someone who falls technically on the neurodivergent spectrum, being a younger queer person myself, I have found love, intimacy, relationship, sex, casualness in bar scenes, in online dating scenes, in app interface scenes. And so it's really depending on how you put yourself out there. Are you being true to yourself? Are you being true to what you think the community wants from you? And if so, where that community is going. As long as you portray yourself in your most authentic self and stand by it and don't dive down into what people want you to be, you can find it.
I didn't listen to anything he just said. Did you?
Married, got it. Anyways, moving on.
So I think less. Okay, I think less of you too. But I think less. Like, I think that with the apps and everything, people are going to bars and they're going there with a focus. I'm going to get laid tonight. This is what I'm going to do. You know, I think when it comes to marriage or something like that, I think that at this point, people are getting more information about people on apps than they do at the bar. You know, think about it. You know if they have a dog, you know if they're family oriented, you know where they've been for the last 3 weeks just by going and looking through their feed.
Yeah, I mean, look, don't go on Grindr looking for marriage, but I think open up all of your options.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you there. I don't want to exaggerate and take off the point that I'm making, and it run into the weeds because I'm making a point. 80% of gay men in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, virtually everything that they do is in the app. It's in Grindr.
Sure.
So when you say don't do that, no one listened to what you just said.
I said do it all. I said if you're expecting to find romance in a place where all they want to do is send you dick pictures, that may not work out for you.
Yeah.
I found one of my partners of 3 years on LinkedIn. I found Chris another 4 years on Instagram. I found one on MySpace that I was with for 8 years. So my whole life of being in a monogamous relationship, I've been through social media. Not to say it can't work. What I'm saying is I didn't find them on Growler. I didn't find him on Grindr. Not that I couldn't, but chances are you're gonna just.
Do you think it's unusual that you took the extra steps to do that?
It wasn't extra at all. It was so easy.
It most certainly is an extra step because the vast majority of gay men, we're focusing on gay men in conversation. The vast majority of gay men are in a situation where they're having their encounter, whatever the encounter is, in a social media app, Growler, Grindr, the most popular. the vast majority of gay men are doing that. What you just told, audience, is that you've had success in longer term relationship because you did this or you did this or did this. The vast majority of gay men are not going to LinkedIn to, I'm not even thinking about meeting somebody, but
you're assuming
do.
I went on there to find a partner.
That just
I
happened.
didn't. I was just open to it. What I'm saying is be open to it. Sure, it could be an easier, less barrier.
Am I wrong? I'm trying to speed the conversation. Am I wrong to say that the majority of gay men that go on to IG or they go into Reddit or they go into LinkedIn, they're not there thinking about relationship, and as a result, the 80% that are thinking about hooking up or whatever, and whatever it is, maybe even a relationship, they're doing it in the social platforms like Grindr, and as a result, they're never going to be happy.
But go on.
I was going to say, do you think that if you met Chris, is that his name? Mm-hmm. If you met Chris on Grindr and you hooked up with him, do you think that would have, I
would have still fallen in love.
Exactly.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is be open to it all. And then when you have certain barriers, like if you're competing with other guys or there's music you can't hear, or you're going into a bathhouse where it's like literally just for sex, you may not be open to it. Your brain and his brain, their brain.
How is the bathhouse, and again, it's just a challenge, but how is the bathhouse any different than Grindr?
It's not. It's not. But it's to your point of your availability to explore different options. And so I'm very much agree with you. It's how you put yourself out there. So for example, I've shared on the show, I'm open to love. I would love to find that one. So I have met people at the club, may have been I hit it and quit it. I'm out there on Tinder, and I've actually had Tinder conversations where I'm just trying to hook up at this moment. Sir, I'm trying to find out what's your dog's name, where do you live, and you talking about come over and let's get it going.
Exactly.
Block. So you got to be available to all of those options. And to your point, it could happen. The bathhouse. I've even gone to a bathhouse and said, "Hey, let's exchange numbers." That was a good session.
Period.
And we can maybe make something out of this if that's where your head is. They may not always be there, but it's about what you put out there to the universe and what they give back. They may be like, "No, you're right. Okay. I don't want that."
To the question, are bars today a popular and a viable mechanism of significant success in creating relationships?
Yes.
Still.
Yes, I think it's still.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think you never know until you meet the person in person. Anytime you're dealing with the apps, that's a possibility, but you don't know what they smell like. You don't know what they look like.
And people
exactly,
lie on
and their
apps.
pictures.
Our very own
just don't
Cal
know.
is now using Facebook dating to date, right? And so he went out on a date with someone, and on the date, he's like, he's a bottom. He told me he was a top, So it's like, he's already at the date. He's stuck there already. And he was also 4 inches shorter than he said.
And again,
It was a total no for Cal. Cal was like, peace.
But you don't put to that point. It's easier on those apps because you could be everything and anything you want to be until you get to that face to face, and when you realize you're not who you say you are. And the same thing at the club. You can say I'm this, that, and the other. But
I'm trying to be valuable in terms of what the Reddit conversation is. The Reddit conversation starts from the place of I'm lonely and I don't think I'm going to be able to find relationship.
Then he never will.
And then, but lots and lots of people chime in feeling the exact same way. We've reported in Queer News Tonight repeatedly, over and over and over again, we are more unhappy today than we were 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, we were more unhappy than 10 years before that. All of the social media presence has come in that was designed to connect us and be able to instantaneously unite us. And the thing it did was push us all farther apart.
So to that point, what happened with the social media is it gave us an instantaneously itch. So meaning that we had an itch, we could go in the app, we could scratch it, and we could be done. Versus the long haul of pursuing someone and having that ability of the chase. With the apps, there is no chase. It is what it is, and we're done with it. It's only until we change our frame of mind.
Acknowledged. But that's an implementation step that most people will not do.
Agreed.
They're not going to change their mind. They're not going to take the active effort work that is necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is someone out there for everyone. At the end of the day, there is someone out there for everyone.
If you're open
to it.
Yeah.
Even if you're ugly.
And do the majority of people want relationships? Like most of my friends don't. I'm a rarity. I am so different.
Do you think that that's true? You
I
think
know.
the majority of gay men,
They're not
let's talk
interested.
about,
They're
they're
not
not
interested.
interested in a relationship.
Most
think
of
that's
my
what people
friends
use
are
Grindr
single.
stuff
They
with,
have
though.
no problem with it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just become too easy to have the two to be your lifetime partner and your play partner. It's gotten comfortable where we can do all of those things, and all those things can exist at the exact same time. And so it's comfortable that if I can be alone, but I still have these play partners, I'm fine with that, and I'm okay because I'm still getting my needs met. Versus years ago, when it was the pursuit of that one person is going to fulfill all of the boxes, and so therefore we've learned, that they don't, because we are evolving as
We
people.
shouldn't even try. Yeah.
But I think we all want to be loved.
Joke. Now, and joke been made here. You know, I have complex relationship. I'm completely happy with complex relationship. I would not be happy with no relationship. And my situation is completely different. But I commit to this relationship in one way and this relationship in a different way. But what I watch with so many gay men is they want, it's like cocaine.
Control, like you just want to have that person. That person belongs to you.
Yeah.
And that's what we're indoctrinated with. You have to find the one. There's only one out there for you. And no, as long as
those are rules that are placed upon you. That,
exactly.
Take
It's
it out
social
of me.
construct.
Take it out of me. Take it out of me.
And that's why those relationships last longer. We did the story last week about gay men staying together longer now. And that's why, because they have those conversations. Lesbians aren't that open with each other. Okay, they might want to go outside the relationship, but they won't tell their partner, you know?
We're like me, where I want to go out, but I don't want you to go out.
That, by the way, I don't know if you've ever heard this before. That's called hypocritical.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when I got married with Teresa, I'm like, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
I encourage people to go to Reddit. Lots of interesting conversation for LGBT on so many subjects are going on there. You can find very specific subreddits on things that you're interested in. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.